did. Well done, by the way.
Been 20 years of this.
We know.
Nothing. What is your lovely question?
I'm Michelle. My question is, now that you guys have collaborated on The Boys for the first time in a while, has the process of getting into character changed for you guys over the years? Or has it just been back and step?
I think for me, each project or each character, there's kind of a different way to approach them. There's a different way to approach a story, a different way to approach the character, a different way to approach the relationships between the characters. So there's not one specific, acting method that I would utilize because I don't know any. So I usually just try to go with inspiration and what, in reading the script, reading the character, kind of try to find something that either from a personal experience, maybe a piece of my personality, maybe an inspiration from somebody that's in my life, somebody I know, somebody I've observed, maybe another character in a movie, another character in a TV show, something. All of that kind of goes into the inspiration that I find to find kind of the voice of a new character. So it's everyone's a little different and a little bit kind of tailored to that specific project. So I don't really have a specific method to get me to where I need to go. It's all kind of, it all ebbs and flows. And then when you get there on set, you think you have a plan, and that plan goes out the window because the person you're working with does something completely different. I mean, that was the nice thing about, working with the same person for so long, the same people for so long, is you kind of got an idea of how they would approach the material, which gave you confidence in how you were going to approach the material. And so when you're starting a new show or you're playing a new character with a whole different cast of actors, you can come in with a plan, but sometimes you have to be really flexible to adapt to what they're doing. And so I think that adaptability was something that he and I are able to do and have confidence in doing, but it doesn't necessarily lend itself to doing the same thing every time. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of similar. And also, my career, I guess both of ours, has been kind of in TV. We've both done movies. We've both done plays, whether, professionally after high school or like in high school. And so it's very different to do a role on a movie. On a movie, you get a script, it's 100 pages or 120 pages. And when you start the movie, you shoot for a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever. But that's the script. Whereas a TV show, you get, here's an episode, here's episode 1, here's 40 pages. And so you kind of build a character, and then here's episode 2. It's 40 more pages you didn't see before episode 1. Okay, kind of massage it and be flexible, and then you finish that. Here's episode 3, 40 more pages. And then if you're as blessed as we've been to do 327 episodes that are 40 pages apiece, give or take, everything, it's like it's with a TV show, it's almost like you have a brick every day. And you put a brick down, and then next day you put a brick down, and next day you put a brick down. And so the house grows, and the foundation gets edified, and it's more structured and sound. And so the last 2 jobs I've done outside of Supernatural and Walker were Fire Country, and but you're like, I'm coming into a blank slate, and there are no bricks there. Like I haven't had a chance to really build. I feel much better in season 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 of a show than coming in, but I felt really supported on The Boys. And obviously I knew Jensen very well, and Phil Screech was directing it very quickly. But the way I prepare for a role is the way I kind of prepare for anything, which is I just read it over and over and over again. Very tired, very on a plane. I read it when I'm waiting to get my kids to school, and something clicks every time. And so by the time they call action, I have all these little ideas, and we see what lands. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name's Diana. It's my first phone. Very quickly, I want to thank you for all the work you do off camera for mental health support. And quick question, you were just talking about the writing, and the writing can sometimes be hilarious. What was your favorite insult you got to use in over 300 episodes on camera?
You're bossy and short. Most of y'all have either met him already or met him this weekend. He ain't short, you know? But I'm kind of overgrown moose. So to be able to call someone who's what, 6'1", 6'2", short on camera, I was like, so I did enjoy that one.
What was the question?
What was your favorite insult to use on camera?
Insult.
She said on cameras.
As Dean? Okay, because I was going to say, if you're opening up the Soldier Boy. I don't think we had that at the time. Although it is funny because the same person's writing them, kind of created those two characters. And I feel like there's a lot of things that Soldier Boy says that he wanted Dean to say. Never had the opportunity to. Favorite insult. You know, there were a lot, and for some reason the one that's coming to my mind first is not even a spoken insult, and it wasn't even scripted. And I have to give credit where credit's due. It was Jared's idea, but it was when we came back. It was in Bobby's house, and you bring me back from where were we? I don't remember, but when I punched you. Going under a bad sign, and all of a sudden Dean comes to and he sees Sam. Yeah, he did bag, and there was a lot of struggle, and then all of a sudden Dean just slugs Sam in the face. That was not scripted, and he's like, you would probably just hit me because of what you just went through. I was like, I would. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. And so again, maybe not a spoken insult, but something that I felt was very right for the character in that moment, and was insulting in a physical way that I really felt worked for that moment.
Yeah, it made the cut.
And it made the cut. Yeah, it made the cut.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome.
My name is Giannina.
Giannina?
Yes.
Hi, Giannina.
Hi. So this question is relating to music. So for Jensen, I was wondering what your favorite radio company song is, and if there's a story behind it. And for Jared, do you have a favorite song that's meaningful to you and why?
I think every song that Steve and I have cooked up has got some sort of story. I know it does. I'll say, I guess I'll pick one. And I think you said this before, but the song "Keep on Rambling" was actually kind of an ode to Butch Cassidy. And it was, if you listen to it, it's the story of Butch Cassidy. And I was at that time when we wrote that, I was living in Telluride, Colorado, and which was the first bank that he ever robbed is in that little town, that little mountain town. And so that kind of gave us the idea when we wrote that song, and we kind of talked about, what it was like to be him in that day and age. And I don't know, just as a catchy melody, and I liked it. I liked it because it wasn't something that was, your normal kind of subjects of music. It was a story. I like storytelling songs. Yeah, thanks.
Favorite song in general? I don't know. We kind of touched. We had a conversation about this kind of a macro earlier. Re music or mine is very mercurial. Like if I'm in a good mood, I listen to, T Swift and stuff. But I will say that when so many, hard to say for like what my favorite song is. I will say this about something that he and Steve did, but I was there on set in Supernatural when they covered Elliott Smith's Angelus, because there's some, and I was there. Like I was there, I got to sit in the sound truck that we would do our voiceover and ADR for Supernatural with, and there's some really cool, I'd seen Good Will Hunting many times, and I had quoted it as my favorite movie often, which it was and it is at times still. But there's a really cool lyric, what's a game of chance to you, to him is one of real skill. And so I borrowed that here and there, because sometimes when people are like, oh, you're an actor, oh, it must be so easy. You're like, hey, it ain't, it's not. Like, but it's also, like, I do like to play cards and poker and blackjack, but I do it maybe twice a year. Like, I'm not a gambler by nature. Like, I'm a kind of a pretty pragmatic kind of guy. But in this industry, there are certain ways you can handle yourself or behave or work that is a skill that people just don't realize. And he and I both, I think, have worked really hard at developing that skill. But yeah, as far as music goes, it's whatever I'm in the mood for. That's such a cop-out. I'm sorry.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you got it.
Hi, I'm Christine. I'm actually Doreen's sister-in-law. Hi.
Doreen was over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Doreen.
her husband and I are brother and sister, and we grew up where similar to you guys. He and I, used to fight and pick on me. I was kind of dorky, and he was Mr. Popular. And now, even today.
Wait, who's the dorky one? Who's the popular? Wait, Christine. Who's dorky and who's popular?
Well, no, like.
Just kidding.
Anyway, so now even as adults, I'm a second grade teacher, and he's a superstar, and he still picks on me and plays tricks on me, and still. I was just curious if, growing up with your siblings, if you did that, and if you still do that as adults with your siblings in real life.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I literally, just before we came on stage, was telling Jensen about my brother. So my son Tom, who's 13, he broke his arm. And so luckily, Uncle Jeff, my brother, is an orthopedic surgeon. And so we went to see Uncle Jeff and got a CAT scan and an x-ray and got a cast and stuff. But I was telling Ackles that at times, if I'm with my brother and something happens and he's like, nah, man, that's stupid. I'll be like, your mom is stupid. He's like, that doesn't make any sense. It's your mom too. Your mom is your mom too. So yeah, I guess to answer the question I think you're asking is, am I still as stupid as I was when I was 7? The answer is yes. I'm still a 7-year-old. Yeah.
Well, stupid is stupid does. We are both younger brothers when it comes to our brothers. So we both have older brothers, and I had the fortunate ability to, I don't know if it's an ability, I was fortunate enough to grow bigger and larger than my older brother. Him not so much. If you can believe it. Yeah. But I was larger than my brother, and so I wouldn't say pick on him or anything like that, but I would mess with him, and I've stopped doing that now because he got the last laugh. He has 3 sons, and his 2 older sons are larger than I am now. So I don't mess with their dad anymore because I am outnumbered and they are larger than I am. And they're also crafty. So I'm not kicking that hornet's nest at all. We are cool, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, I have a quick request. You got your phone? I have one of my best friends in the whole world is having a birthday today. And he doesn't know I'm doing this, but he is not from Boston.
House lights.
But he married a Bostonian.
Can you name a few house lights? House lights.
And Maggie is amazing, and she doesn't know what it is either. But if we could just sing him happy birthday today. His name is Evan. I'm going to send this to him and just tell him that his wife's town is much better than the town he grew up in.
You're going to do a reveal, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna selfie mode now, so.
Well, don't have yourself in a poster on the background. No.
Okay, I think this works. All right. Would you join me here? What do you want to start in there? Hit it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Evan. Happy birthday to you.
Nice.
Thank you guys, I appreciate that. I'm sure I just deleted it. Okay. Thank you for that. He will be very sad that his wife got another one over on him, and she wasn't even part of it.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, I'm Kira.
Kira?
Yes. My favorite monster in Supernatural is the Wendigo. I'm actually using it as a source in my English essay about Wendigo psychosis and cannibalism from an
A+.
I was wondering what your guys' favorite monsters or antagonists were on Supernatural.
I loved shapeshifters.
With the skin and the what?
I didn't love. I love.
I hated him so much I couldn't even say the word.
You couldn't say the word.
Shut up, they don't need to know that.
I love them in spite of their flaws. I love the storylines you could tell. I love the stories you could tell. And the storyline was you don't know who you're talking to. And some of those instances, and not even just shapeshifter, but like angel or demon. Some of my favorite acting moments were with Jensen, of course, when Sam didn't know if it was Dean, or if it was Michael, or if maybe Dean didn't know if it was Sam, or Gabriel, or Ezekiel, or Solus, or Hal, or so on and so forth, or Lucifer. But I love the way Sam and Dean had to approach issues when they didn't really know who they were talking to. So I did like the shapeshifter kind of idea.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, yeah, you're right. No.
But what do you really think?
I'm gonna go vampires. Here's why. Because there wasn't anything like, crazy supernatural about. They didn't change bodies and leave skin piles in the corner. They weren't,
Vampires aren't supernatural, they're not real.
No. I mean, they were more human-like, and they had families. They looked after each other. There were human instincts, I think, with the vampires that that we fought. So it was just a good old-fashioned good versus evil. Those were the bad guys. We were the good guys, and it was mano a mano. Nobody was bringing some crazy,
Rebar or something.
And here's another reason. Because you know what? Dean died fighting things that he'd love to fight the most.
I cracked myself up.
Have you seen that?
Construction zone.
Somebody sent me this thing. It was like some stitched together little thing where it's like a shot of the Twilight folks.
Yes,
and then it cuts to us, and we're in the diner booth, and we just go. And then it just rolls credits.
No, it's like it's the Twilight people, and then it goes to Sam and Dean, like in a diner, and then Dean looks over.
I just said this.
No, it goes back to the Twilight folks, and then you look back at me and you go, son of a bitch. You start to get up, and then the Twilight credits roll.
Yeah, so I'll go Vance.
I'll go Rebar.
Also a formidable opponent.
Very formidable.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
My name is Jim. If you could give past you one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't do it. Whatever it is. Past you. Okay, I'm gonna try something. I mean, there's so many to give. Don't wait to live life. You're living life right now. I'm still young enough. I'm 42. But there's so many things that I can recall from the past 25 years of my life since I've been acting. I got Gilmore Girls when I was 17, and I've been just working, thinking like, I'm gonna save up some money, I'm gonna try and build a career, and I can pay my bills someday. And I would just not allow myself to do things, thinking like, one day I'll live life, one day I'll make it, and when I have this much money in the bank, or when I have a child, or a wife, or these many friends, or whatever, then I'm gonna like slow down and enjoy and smell the roses. You're living life right now, tomorrow's not promised. And you seem like a good fellow, I could be wrong, but I think you're a good human being. So reward yourself. You know, you got this far, here you are with a crowd of people who all are passionate about something. Like, be kind to yourself, reward yourself. Be nice to the person you see in the mirror.
Don't do that. Go home. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't. That party in the hills is not your friend.
Nothing good happens after midnight.
Nothing good happens after midnight as you get a little older, but your 20s, you stay out till 2. Bars are open till 2. You stay out till 2. But then go home. Don't burn the candle at two ends. Burn it from the center, and then it kills both ends at the same time.
That's
so
true.
A friend of mine gave me a little book many years ago. I never read it, but it was.
It was too small. It was very little book.
No, it actually was a small book, but the cover was all I needed. It said, "Don't sweat the small stuff." And I knew what it said inside. It's right there on the cover. I don't need to go into more depth on how the message understood. Thank you very much. Garbage.
Garbage. A little tiny bit. Garbage.
Don't sweat the small stuff, man. Life is a journey. You got a long way to go. Be sure you live it in its moment, but it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
to Elise from, as far as I heard, Amazonia, Massachusetts.
Amesbury, Massachusetts.
Amazonia,
It's right next to Columbia.
What is it? Elise from the Amazon. Okay, that's great.
So you are our last question.
You are our last question.
The first convention.
You never been on Elise before? Have you never been to Supernatural? Have you been to any convention before? Don't lie. Actually lie to me.
Do you know who he is? Okay, no. Well, welcome. Sorry to scare you. Check out your fellow family members. And we have a...
How's your heart rate?
She's dead. She might be a vampire.
Yeah, no, she is alive. What is your question?
So I have a question, and it is, music of Supernatural is very important, as any character is. If you were thrown into an alternate universe, what would be a song that you would use to describe Supernatural? I don't want to throw out Carry On My Wayward Son. Don't come with me.
Okay, so is that an option, or should we pick another one? I think we should pick another one. I have one in mind already, and it's not Carry On. It's Wherever I May Roam by Metallica. Because it kind of describes the show. Yeah. Thank you. Chuck, please.
I was always a mean girl.
Unfortunately, we won't be coming back to Boston ever again.
I will go on that thread. I will go the Unforgiven by Metallica.
See you again.
Elise, thank you so much for being brave enough to come up and say hi.
You did great, too. That was awesome.